Welcome back to the Prosperity with Purpose podcast. Just felt like switching up the speed of that intro there today. I'm Jessica Heffley. I'm excited to talk to you about a lyrics episode. So I've done a couple of these in the past where it's like a song that really resonates with me, how I coach, what I do, my business, and how it can be transformative for you too. And I got a new one. And this one is not one I've had in my back pocket for a long time. I actually heard it for the first time last week. And so that just shows you the power of music. Also, we have to be careful because music with the lyrics, they invoke emotions, they're repetitive, they can really get into your spirit. But anyways, you've heard me say before that some of the most powerful things in your life, in your business, are the simplest. So here is a line in this song, and then I'm going to explain more of it. It's just this in and of itself. Healthy things grow and growing things change. Bye. See you later. End of episode. Just kidding. Okay. Healthy things grow and growing things change. Let me get to the root of where this came. Well, let me just tell you where this came from. It was, where was it? I just can't even remember the details right now. I might have been listening to a podcast. You're the Cure is the name of a podcast that I absolutely love that lines up with biblical thinking and health and all those things. It may have been on there. They may have said like a portion of this, or maybe I can't even, maybe I was doing, I think that's where I was doing a reel and it was about healthy or something. And I was searching for a song to go with it or grow or something along those lines. And a Ben Rector song came up called Wreck. And I love Ben Rector. And so I was like, ooh, what's this? And then the line went just, I think it's on it's on one of my, reels from last week. So anyways, I was like, oh my word, this one line from the song was like, oh my gosh, like it almost made me cry. It actually is a love song, but I thought, oh my gosh, this is like the life coach's mantra. Like if someone were to sing this song dedicated to me as their life coach, because it talks about how you wrecked this it's actually a love song, how you wrecked my world. And let's pull up the lyrics real quick. Let's pull up. If y'all don't know Ben Rector, like I love Ben Rector. And I missed it. It was like even after my college days, he's just one of these guys that like goes and tours at colleges. Like I remember going to hear people when I was in college at a smaller Christian school, like we would pack the place, and he's just kind of he's got some good songs. Brand New is one of my favorite songs. The Thanksgiving. I need to pull up let me write this down. If we have time, we may just pull up the lyrics to the Thanksgiving song. Yes. Actually, let's do that at the end because it's so good. Um, Old Friends. Oh my word. I can't listen to these songs without crying. Like they invoke a lot of emotion. Him in general, like he's such a good storyteller. He invokes so much emotion. Okay, we're gonna have to pull up Thanksgiving. We're gonna have to pull up all. I'm gonna pause this. Once I get to the point, we'll have a little extra credit at the end. We'll go over some more Ben Rector lyrics. Shout out to Ben Rector. But do you have some of these people that just like remind you of a season of your life or invoke emotions? So, like sometimes I can get, side note, into like my feely emotions. Like if I'm just like in a crying session, I'll put on some James Taylor and I'm just like, I've seen fire and I've seen fire. And I'll be crying my eyes out. Or um he isn't it amazing? No man, he's got just some good songs that just James Taylor, they're just like smooth and they got good lyrics and they tell a little bit of a story. And anyways, you may not care about James Taylor. And then I can go in like phases of when was it? I don't know. It was sometime earlier this year. I was like back in a nostalgic college phase and I was listening to like Grits and Dashboard Confessional and Jack Johnson and John Mayer and oh Ben Harper. There's just some of those lyrics that just bring back some memories from college and but they can get me into like an emotional, like sad place of like, "Arr." So okay, back to Ben Rector. Back to the song Wreck. Going on some squirrels already for you. Okay, let me read you the lyrics because this does have to apply to your business. Back to healthy things grow and growing things change, which is how I found the song. And I love Ben Rector. I'm not like a huge fan. I don't know all of his songs, but there is multiple of his songs that I love and listen to often. Um, He's just got some good stuff. Okay, so the chorus of the song is "You wrecked my world in a beautiful way, and I kind of thought I'd always stay the same. But I heard that healthy things grow and growing things change. Yeah, yeah, you wrecked my world in the most beautiful way." And that's what I was like, yes, life coaches. Life coaches have done this for me. Coaches have done this for me. Because back to, he says at the same, I kind of thought my life would always just kind of be the same, but you wrecked my world in the most beautiful way. Because healthy things grow and growing things change. Okay. Why this resonated with me so much recently is, I just came back from my epic vacation and I wasn't in a growth mode, which is so fine. I was on vacation. I was very much in an enjoyment, live in the moment, enjoy the fruits of my labor, travel, do extravagant, nice, awesome experiences. Like I just loved it. Okay. I really enjoyed it. But when I came back, I noticed that on my entire 18-day trip, I did read my Bible. I was still in the doing Proverbs a day, but I hadn't like read for growth. I hadn't even listened to any podcast episodes or books on tape, which I'm always audible. I'm always doing that. So I was like, I kind of just wasn't in a growth phase. I was like, what am I going to listen to next? Which I remember thinking that's weird because usually I'm listening to 4 different things at one time. So, anyways, there's I have no judgment or no condemnation towards myself at all towards this. But when I realized this, as I got back from vacation and started to get back into like growth mode, which I really enjoy because it spurs me on to learn new things and then teach other people new things, right? So it just got me back to this very, very simple concept of healthy things grow and growing things change. If you look at a plant for that matter, okay, if something is healthy, it is growing and growing things change. So going back to your personal relationships or your business, healthy things grow. Are you growing? Internally, externally, emotionally, physically, financially, business wise. And then also, is growing things change? Like, so eh, that means that it's going to change for you. Okay. So many people are like, um, they keep trying to do the same old thing and they're not getting a new result. Like, because growing, healthy things grow and growing things change, which led me to another quote I heard this week is you cannot get well in the same environment you got sick in. Okay, this absolutely yes can play with your physical health, but it also can play to your emotional and business health. Like you, whatever was toxic, if you're trying to get well, like, let's do the physical example. For example, some people say you have mold toxicity. Okay, I have a good friend who had mold toxicity. It was in her house. Okay, you cannot get well from mold toxicity by continuing to live in the home that is infested with mold without remediating it. You know what I'm saying? Like something has to change. Your external environment has to change in order for you to get well. Also, but I see this from a fact of not just external circumstances, external and internal circumstances have to change. And that's where I come along as your coach. Okay. Because you cannot get well in the same environment you got sick in. Okay. So you cannot improve your business processes or, find growth or make more money or create more peace if nothing is changing internally for you. Your thoughts, which create your feelings, which create your actions, like they has to be, it demands change. Growth demands change. It is your season to change. Behold, I am doing a new thing. It's going to look different than before. It's going to feel different than before. And it's going to get you different results from before, but you can't get those different results by being in the same environment, internally and externally, by being in the same thing, keep holding on to the same thoughts, the same toxic thoughts or painful thoughts, or they may be so real. They may feel like such facts to you, okay? But there's got to be something to snap you out of it, a coach to ask you the questions to get you out of it, a different perspective, a different biblical perspective, challenging teaching. There needs to be growth within you internally and externally because healthy things grow and growing things change. So, this is your invitation to look and see what in your life is changing, if anything, and what powerful decision you can make moving forward to invoke change. Inside the Prosperity Purpose Mentorship, you will be changed. You engage with that information, that training, you show up for the coaching, you will have a transformation because healthy things grow because you will grow, and growing things change, and it will look different. It'll look different. It'll feel different. It may be hard for a season. It's not going to be familiar, but that's the point, because growing things change. So thank you, Ben Rector, who I already loved, introduced me to that song Wreck, which was about falling in love with somebody who changed their world in a new way. Of this love song that made me think of everything about my coach and my mentors and people who have helped me step into a new season of growth, smacked me out of an old season of stagnation, but not even like smack me like in a mean way. Like they have done it in some of the most gentlest, compassionate, sincerest, believing the best for me ways. And I'm so honored and I am so grateful. And I pray that I am that for 1,000 more people. That I help invoke things, that I help invoke that's what I make the mantra true. Healthy things grow and growing things change. So, what are you going to change today? What are you going to change today? I'm going to leave you with that because I want to pause and go on to more Ben Rector. Lyrics. Okay, so let's do it while we're here. This was not the original intent of this particular episode, but I love Ben Rector and I have a captive audience, so let me look up the lyrics. This is funny because I'm like totally taking a detour. Okay, let me pull up the Thanksgiving song. This song, you guys have got to look this up, look up the lyrics to it. This came out the year of COVID, right? COVID was 2020, so this was Thanksgiving of 2021. Okay, a little backstory on why also I was probably so emotional about this song. Is that year, so for some reason, why didn't we go? We usually go to my parents. I live in Arkansas. My family lives in Illinois, and so we usually go to my parents for Thanksgiving. It's all about connecting emotions, right? We usually go there for Thanksgiving, and for some reason we didn't go the year before. We may have gone to Costa Rica that year. Maybe that was it. Anyway, so it was COVID, right? The very beginning of COVID, or that first year or whatever. People didn't quite know what's happening. People weren't seeing each other as much. Da, 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 da. This is not a COVID episode. And so I was really looking forward to going home for Thanksgiving. I hadn't been home, my parents' house, in a long time. And Thanksgiving was coming up. It's one of my favorite holidays. All my cousins come over. You want to read the lyrics, so it doesn't make sense to you, but anyways, yada 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 yada. The Rona, or the kids did, or whatever, and we didn't get to go, and I was devastated. I was just really, really, really sad about it. I was sad for a million different reasons. Like I was so tired of this season of COVID messing up people's plans or making people scared. Like we weren't even sick, but just like the dynamics of everything, and it just changed my plans. And I thought I was doing this, and now I had to stay home, and I hadn't seen my family along. Let me play you this. I can't play you the song because they'll like revoke it on these for rights and stuff. So let me read the lyrics to you. Is it just hits so home to me? Okay, and I think it will for you too. Here we go. It's literally just called the Thanksgiving song. A The lyrics are: familiar highways lined with leaves turn brown, making my way back into my hometown. Funny how this all looks different, but it feels the same. Like how life never stops changing, but some things never change. So fill my plate and fill your drink and fill this house with family, the kind of love that all these years can't wash away. Because the older that I get, I see that life is short and bittersweet. Thank God for this Thanksgiving Day. We ain't even got to the good part yet. Okay, next verse. Watching football. We always watch foot sport at my parents' house. Watching families grow, the old kids table the old kids table all have kids of their own. So, side note, we have a lot of cousins over there, and we always call it kids table. And now we're all grown up, and we all have kids of our own, but we still don't want to go sit at the adult table, which is where all of our parents sit. So it's like the cool kids table. So that was like, oh my gosh, you're talking about my family. Okay, next line. Starting to see my grandfather in my nephew's eyes. Mom still can't talk about him and almost cry. So fill your plate and fill your drink and fill this with family, the kind of love 1,000 miles can't wash away. Because the older that I get, I see that life is short and bittersweet. Thank God for this Thanksgiving Day. And here's the line that I just can't listen to, that I couldn't listen to without crying. Okay, so fill your plate and fill your drink. Put your dishes in the kitchen sink. Let the leftover year just wash away. Because we made it through, I do believe, the longest year in history. Thank God that it's Thanksgiving Day. Okay, it's like, I'm like tearing. You're like, Jessica, why are you freaking out? It's put to music. You have to understand that year was like like back then, right? Like people were against each other. Like we had different thoughts about COVID, we had different thoughts about what's going on in the world, we had different thoughts about the pandemic. It was just like this hard year. And it was like, and then what's the line? He literally says, because we made it through, I do believe, the longest year in history. Thank God that it's Thanksgiving Day. And so, like, that song comes out, I'm listening to it. I get to go down those familiar roads, those familiar highways where the leaves are changing, and the kids' table is now the adults' table. And we have kids all of their own, and grandpa's passed, and and it just invoked a lot of emotion for me. Gotten off the business topic here. Do you guys want to hear one more Ben Rector song that makes me cry? Okay, hold on. Okay, I paused the recording because I go look up some more lyrics. But remember, the whole point of this podcast was Healthy Things Grow and Growing Things Change by Ben Rector's song Wreck. But this is just your bonus extra credit content. Let's start with one that's really sappy and has nothing to do with business, and then we're going to end with two more that I can tie into working your business, okay? Ben Rector, Old Friends. This one is just sappy. It makes me cry, makes me nostalgic. It's called Old Friends, okay? And again, these are so like low budget videos. He's nobody hugely famous, which is also why I think I love him so much. Like this video is just of him and his old friends from high school who had a garage band playing in literally as adults now in the garage playing. Okay, he says I can still see Wiley's house riding on my bike with my eyes closed. Oh, I can still find Wiley's house riding on my bike with eyes closed. I could name every girl that he took out and from my memory dial his house phone. Okay. Side note, this totally makes me think of my best friend Taryn growing up. Like we used to talk to each other every day on the phone. I still have her phone number memorized. I knew every boy that she took out. She was Miss Popular and had a bunch of boyfriends, and it was always the third wheel. But I knew everybody she took out. We would do anything for each other. And anyways, okay. Next part. Can you take me back when we were just kids? um, who weren't scared of getting older, because no one knows you like they know you, and no one probably ever will. You can grow up, make new ones, but truth is, there's nothing like old friends, because you can't make old friends. Next verse. I can still feel the windows down, listening to Jimmy Eat World riding 3 wide on Blake's bench seat. It's been 10 years now. I would have his back tomorrow, and he'd still fight anyone who tried to touch me. And he goes back to the chorus. Can you take me back when we were just kids who weren't scared of getting older? Because no one knows you like they know you, and no one probably ever will. You can grow up, make new ones, but truth is, there's nothing like old friends. And then this part, oh my word. And he says, and I've got some new friends now. I've got some good friends now. And he says, but I've never seen their parents' back porch. I wouldn't change how things turned out, but there's no one in this time zone who knows what inline skates that I own. And it was just like, and he plays this little ting bicycle bell in the song. It just is like, oh my word, because as adults, like you're right. You just I think it merely has to do with the amount, the quantity of time that you spend with your childhood best friends. This is what happened when I went to Harding University. It was a Christian university, and I feel like people got closer faster is because we all lived on campus, and so we were like in the dorms together, in the cafeteria together, in chapel together, in classes together, at intramural fields in the evenings together, going to church together on the weekends, going to the campus activity. Like it was just at a large amount of time, and so we got very close very quick. And then after college, it was like this transition of like, oh, hi, new friend I met at church or at work who we don't spend much time together, and definitely never seen your parents' backyard, and you don't know who my crushes were when I was young. And it was just so super nostalgic with that song. Okay, let's just go for two more quick ones. Okay, he has a song called Brand New. It's so fun. His video for it is so fun. It's super low budget. He like had his super fans, he picked like a handful of winners and he brought them all to Six Flags, and they just rode roller coasters all day. And that's the music video for the song, which is so endearing and made me love him even more. Okay, so it's called Brand New. And it's a really fun like dance song. I like to play it with my kids, and it goes, I feel like new sunglasses, like a brand new pair of jeans. I feel like taking chances. I feel like 17, a lot like 17. I feel like windows rolled down, new cities, streets, and cabs. I feel like anything can happen. You can take me back when we were kids. Never thought I'd feel like this. And then it's like, and then I close my, it gets really fast, and I close my eyes and don't even care if anyone sees me dancing. Like I can fly and don't even think of touching the ground. Like a heartbeat skip, like an open page, like a one-way trip on an aeroplane. It's the way that I feel that when I'm with you, brand new. And just like this fun feeling of like feeling brand new, the excitement of it, living in the mountain. It's just a fun, upbeat song. Okay, the last one I'll leave you guys to. He has another one called Living My Best Life. And this is a newer one of his. And I love the beauty of the song because, like, in the height of his career, I'm sure he always imagined he wanted to be like this famous musician and travel the world. And he had all these dreams, right? And then life happens. He had a daughter. They have a kid, and it's funny to see. You'll just have to listen to the lyrics of the song. It's called "Living My Best Life." So it says, "This house is now a litany. Things I thought I'd never be. A man who has opinions on an ottoman, among other things. I used to think I'd miss the road, the crushing fame, and sold out shows. I just sing head and shoulders, knees and toes now, like I'd forgotten them. But I'm alive, and baby, I'm thriving. I'm living my best life. I wake up with the sunrise. It does not look a thing like what I thought it would be. But I've been getting my steps in, and I sleep with my best friend. And it's the best thing that has been in a long while. I'm living my best life." Um, and then it goes on, and it just goes on to talk about how he's truly living his best life. Like he had this vision of what he thought it was going to be, but the best parts of his life are at home with his wife and daughter. And that's what I love about being an entrepreneur. So as I close today's episode up, I love that about being an entrepreneur. Like I don't have to miss those moments. I can still have those shining moments on stage in front of thousands, but my sacred work is home with him, with my children, with my family, of not missing the moments, not missing the dinners, being there for bedtime, being there for school pickup. I work when they're at school. I work in moments. I work hard. I love my work. I love my career. I love coaching. I love my being a network marketing professional. I feel like the Lord has called me to help you guys create more peace, to make more money, to get more money in the hands of good people. I love what I do. I also love the sacred moments with that aren't that I don't have makeup on, and I don't have fancy clothes on, and I'm not behind a microphone, and I have someone on my front porch rocking chair, and we're just talking about life. Like those moments where I feel like I'm living my best life. So blessings to you guys. Thanks for letting me share some of my favorite Ben Rector songs. You're welcome. So go. I don't even know him that well. I don't even know what he stands for. I hope he's a good kid. He has some great music. But back to healthy things grow and growing things change. If you can just remember that, let that be the litmus test. Let that be how you evaluate things, that healthy things are growing, okay, and growing things change. Like sometimes you're like, I just want things to stay the same. I want this relationship to be comfortable. I want this work thing to be comfortable. I want my success to be comfortable. I want it to not change. I don't want it to change. I don't want it to change. I don't want it. Healthy things grow and growing things change. And when you embrace that, not as a painful thing, but as an empowering thing, healthy, growing things change. May you embrace change. May you invoke change. May you hire people in your life. May you join Prosperity with Purpose mentorship to invoke, to empower, to thrust you forth in change. Because there's no change, there's no growth. Healthy things grow, growing things change. See you next week.